Hey guys, how's it going? It's MangaXHunter here, and today I'm going to be doing my manga haul for the month of September. I got a lot of really good stuff this month, a lot of really good deals as well. And so let's go ahead and get into it. So the first volume I got is Black Clover Volume 17. So if you've been following my channel, you know that Black Clover is one of my favorite ongoing series that I'm reading right now. And Volume 16, the one before this, was a fantastic. And the current arc that's going on is just really entertaining. The intensity has really shifted, and it's really gotten a lot heavier. There's a couple. I actually just recently finished this volume. There's a couple spreads like this one, for instance, that are just, the art looks really great in this volume. A lot of action, and I highly recommend picking this one up. The next volume I grabbed is Mob Psycho 100 Volume 3. Mob Psycho, I love the anime, and the manga is very different than the anime. For those who have watched it, the art style is pretty simplistic and kind of goofy in the manga, but I think that adds to it. It's really funny. Like, as you can see, the facial expressions add a lot to the reading experience, and I really like the covers as well. But these are coming out so slow. Dark Horse being classic Dark Horse. The next volume I got is Attack on Titan Volume 28. So for those who watched my last haul, saw that I picked up all of Attack on Titan, and I'm not completely caught up. I'm at volume 19 right now, so around where like season 3 part 2 is, for those of you who are watching the anime, and I'm absolutely loving it. I hear this volume is great, but I haven't read it, so can't speak to it. The next volumes I picked up are something that, it's an older series and something that I figured I really needed in my collection based on my name, and that is Hunter x Volume 1. So Hunter x Hunter is my favorite anime, for those of you wondering why that's a part of my name, MangaXHunter. But I've never read the manga, I've just watched the anime. Here's Volume 2. And the art, I don't know how I feel about the art in the manga. It's really simplistic. Not a lot going on in the background, which isn't my favorite. But I figured it's something I definitely needed in my collection, just because of how much I love the anime and my name. And these were super cheap as well on Amazon. Like, I think Volume 3 was $3 if I remember correctly. The next volume I picked up is Kimetsu no Yaiba, or Demon Slayer Volume 8. And I read the first 2 volumes of Demon Slayer a few months ago. Didn't really care much for it. And then I recently caught up to it in the books, just because I kept hearing so many great things about it. And I just caught up completely, and I'm actually really loving it. And this volume is really great too. Tanjiro, the main character, is just a really sweet guy, and so is Nezuko, I believe is her name. Also, just the characters in this series are really great. If you didn't like it at first, I would recommend giving it another try, because the series has really grown on me, and I'm really enjoying each volume as they come out. The next series I got is Dr. Stone Volume 7. Actually, one of my favorite ongoing shonen right now. I haven't read this volume yet, but where it's currently at, it's kind of a new arc. I really liked where the last arc left off, and so Dr. Stone is really great. It's really entertaining. I highly recommend it. The next volume I picked up is a series that's gaining a lot of traction, and understandably, because it's really funny, and that is Comi Can't Communicate Volume 2. I read the first volume and I really loved it. I thought the humor was on point. There's a lot of, it's very innocent too, which I also appreciate. It's about a girl who is in high school, and everyone thinks she's like this really mysterious and cool person, when in reality she's just so nervous and she can't talk to people. And her goal is to have 100 friends, and so it's just kind of a funny story seeing how she interacts with people and what her inner dialogue is and how other people perceive her. But it's like in this cool like 4-panel layout, just kind of like a new story each day. But I would recommend it if you're kind of hesitant to get into it, because it's really funny. And it's also got this new spine that I haven't seen yet for Viz, or the new logo at the top. The next volume I got is kind of in a similar category. It's Kaguya-sama Love is War, Volume 10. I'm so far behind on this series, but from the first 3 volumes that I have read, I love it. And so I know that whenever I'm in the mood for it, I'm just going to binge through it. But Love is War, really funny. Cute little romance with a lot of funny cat and mouse, like mental games going on. Great series. I would recommend it. Last Viz volume I got that was a recent release is Full Metal Alchemist, the Full Metal Edition Volume 6. I think I've read up to Volume 3 of these. I'm still kind of waiting for my love for Full Metal to take off because I know people are really in love with this series and really cherish it. But I've never gone through it. I've never read it or watched it completely. But I'm just going to keep grabbing these Full Metal editions and reading them as they come out because I am enjoying from what I've read so far, but not like a complete love that I know some people have for the series. The next volumes I got are volumes 7 of Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? This is actually the first manga series that I ever started collecting. I started collecting like 2 years ago, maybe a little bit further back, and I heard that Right Stuff was a good place to start picking it up, and they happened to have a sale for this manga, and it was one of the first, or not one of the first, but it was an anime that I really enjoyed when I watched it back in high school, and so I figured why not pick it up. And the thing about theyese volumes is they're released by Yen Press. They like have a really nice soft feel to them. So, but it is an isekai, so there's nothing that it does that strays much out of that genre. But what it does, I think it does really well. And it's really fun. I think the level up, the progression, like skill progression, is really entertaining. It's like similar to an MMORPG. The battles are intense and just the whole dynamic. I think the main character is really enjoyable. He's easy to root for, Bell-kun. So I do recommend the series. I like the battles and the main character is easy to root for. The next books that I grabbed are Blade of the Immortal Omnibus 4. These covers and spines are just so pretty. I love the way they feel. It's like a really nice matte feel, and they're just really clean. So I also ordered Omnibus 3 from Right Stuff, but it's on back order right now, and it hasn't shipped yet. So some of these omnibus are starting to get more and more difficult to get your hands on. So I would recommend grabbing them if you have any interest in them. But Blade of the Immortal, I read the first 2 omnibus. That's all I read of it, but highly recommend it. It's an older series, and so the art can kind of be perceived as dated, but I would argue that it is an art style that is really timeless and really beautiful. There's plenty of panels where I'll just pause and take in how they look. And my only gripe with it is sometimes the action is hard for me to follow. So like whenever battle scenes are going on. But other than that, like just look at how great this art is. And the story, and it's gripping. One thing I really appreciate about this series is the villains. The villains actually have a good motivation behind them. And so I feel like having a villain with a good motivation and being able to understand and sympathize with them is extremely crucial in having a memorable villain. And so the whole antagonist of this series, I really appreciate. So this is Omnibus 6, and I'll show the spine real quick. Yeah, these spines are, I would say, the best looking spines I have in my collection, and they're just so. It's like the matte finish as well, which I really love. So for the final pickup that I had, I got an amazing deal on these. Whenever I go back home, to visit my mom, I'll go and get on Facebook Marketplace just to see if there's any good deals going on. And I ended up picking this entire series up for $40. It was just a mom selling them, so it was probably like her son's old series. But I got the Naruto 3-in-1s all the way up to volume 45. So 18 3-in-1s, I believe, for $40. So Naruto holds a very near and dear place in my heart, just because it was the first series that I kind of started watching when I was in high school, and actually started choosing, like I had the ability to essentially choose like shows that I wanted to watch on my own rather than just watching what was ever on TV. And Naruto was the first anime that I really fell in love with, and ended up being able to watch it all the way throughout. And so as I went through high school, I went through watching Naruto. So out of the big three, was the one that I really gravitated towards and have a really strong attachment to. And I also think Naruto gets crapped on unfairly. Just a little look at the art. The strengths I think that Naruto has is cool villains, really entertaining characters, and I think the whole battle system and the like skills, the different like ninjutsu, the abilities that each character has and how they progress as well, like through strength, and their actual characterization is really appealing. But who do I think I would recommend Naruto to is someone who likes shonen manga, likes ninjas. It's pretty classic shonen, as in like it's the main character is an underdog. It's a lot of humor, but a lot of cool battles, and it just really digs into tropes of a shonen series. But I think it does a lot of those things great, obviously because it went for 70 volumes. But the way you get to see Naruto and the rest of the gang mature as the series goes on, and the way you see the battles become more elaborate and more intense, and you also see the stakes of the world and the issues become more heavier. So when you're first starting the series, it's very like simple and small issues, and then towards the end it becomes very grand, with a lot at stake. Yeah, I got these for such a good deal. Like all these for $40. And they're all in really good condition. Like not like no yellowing at all. These last volumes are some of my favorite during the Pain saga, or the Pain arc. But here's just a little look to see how like the art progresses going on. You can see the Katsuki, if anybody knows what that is. But Naruto, if you come across a great deal, I would recommend it. It is a big investment because it's 72 volumes, but just look at this guy. How can you not love him? Do love Naruto, and it holds a near and dear place in my heart. So there you go, guys. That was everything I was able to grab for the past month or so. Really excited about everything I was able to grab, and I got a lot of good deals. So I'm thinking for my next video, I'll either do a review or first impressions on Demon Slayer, or a review on Black Clover. So let me know which one you'd prefer, and if there's any other type of videos you'd like to see from me. But yeah, and also let me know what you guys have been picking up and what you've been reading, or if you're enjoying any of these series that I grabbed. But again, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.